You sharpen your skills, you stay agreeable, you try to be useful, yet you are overlooked. And quietly, a question begins to rot in your mind. Why isn't excellence enough? Why isn't integrity rewarded? The world operates on a silent divide, those who move the board and those who are moved. You've sensed this divide your entire life. You enter a space and feel unseen. Meanwhile, others dominate the atmosphere without saying a word. They receive the chances, they receive deference, they accumulate authority, and you overperform, you overgive, you overcorrect. Here is the reality most people refuse to articulate. Influence is not governed by morality, it is governed by leverage. Power does not evaluate your intentions, it responds only to what you control. You've been trying to access influence through likability, but influential people are not short on friends, they are short on advantages. They look for utility, they look for insulation, they look for people who strengthen their position. If you want proximity to the rooms where outcomes are decided, you must abandon the craving to be approved. You must stop asking for permission to matter. Over 5 centuries ago, Niccolò Machiavelli wrote The Prince, not as a handbook for villains, but as a mirror held up to human behavior. He understood something uncomfortable. People are motivated by self-preservation, fear, and image. Ignore this truth, and you will always be expendable. Understand it, and you become indispensable. In the next moments, we will dismantle the myths surrounding connection and influence. What follows are 13 uncompromising principles drawn from Machiavellian psychology. These are not networking tips. They are leverage mechanisms. By the end, powerful people will no longer appear intimidating. They will appear readable. But understand this: once you see the system, innocence is gone. Most people fail because they approach power with need. They reach upward with open palms. They believe authenticity alone creates access. That belief is comforting and false. Authenticity is a privilege reserved for those already established. For those ascending, connection requires precision. It is the art of becoming what the environment requires, until your presence becomes structurally necessary. But how do you adapt without self-betrayal? How do you influence perception without becoming submissive? The answer lies in a concept we will later call the void. But first, the laws. Let us begin. Law 1. Never eclipse authority. The instinct to impress is your first liability. You encounter someone influential, and your competence goes on display. You believe brilliance earns trust. Instead, it triggers threat detection. Those at the top often possess fragile identities. Their status depends on appearing exceptional. When you outperform them publicly, you signal danger, not value. Machiavelli warned that surpassing superiors invites retaliation, not because you are wrong, but because you destabilize their self-image. The strategy is restraint. Let them shine. Frame insights as extensions of their thinking. Ask questions that position them as the source of wisdom. This is not submission. It is tactical invisibility. When they feel superior, their defenses drop. Once you are no longer perceived as a rival, you gain access. They take the spotlight. You gain influence. Law 2. Obscure your objectives. Transparency makes you predictable. Predictability makes you controllable. If your desires are obvious, they can be exploited. Most people broadcast their need through posture, tone, and urgency. This signals dependence, and dependence repels power. To move upward, become unreadable. Speak broadly. Avoid revealing your endgame. Discuss ideas, culture, perspective. Humanize the interaction. Mystery generates curiosity. Curiosity reverses the chase. When they cannot decode you, they begin projecting meaning onto you. Delay disclosure until leverage exists. Warm on the surface, guarded at the core. Information withheld is power preserved. Law 3. Speak to interest, not compassion. Appealing to fairness is ineffective. Influence is not distributed by merit. Powerful individuals are inundated with requests. They cannot afford to act on sympathy. Machiavelli understood this clearly. It is better to be essential than admired. Do not request favors. Propose alignment. Identify their pain points, their threats, their stalled ambitions. Position yourself as relief. When the conversation centers on their benefit, you shift from petitioner to asset. Self-interest is the only universal language. Learn it fluently. Law 4. Master absence. Constant availability signals disposability. Scarcity elevates value. Those who command influence protect their time aggressively. If you treat your time as abundant, they assume it is worthless. Be present when engaged, then withdraw. Delay responses, decline immediacy. Let your absence create psychological residue. When you return, your presence feels earned, not expected. Law 5. Become the reflective surface. People are captivated by themselves. They crave recognition of their worldview. Instead of speaking about who you are, mirror who they believe they are, slightly refined. Match tempo, vocabulary, energy. This creates subconscious alignment. Similarity breeds trust. Trust accelerates access. When they feel understood, attachment forms. Law 6. Control valuable knowledge. Information has replaced territory as power's currency. Those at the top are isolated by agreement. They lack unfiltered truth. If you provide insight that protects or advances them, you become indispensable. Curate intelligence. Deliver clarity. Never reveal the source. Maintain exclusivity. If they need you for perspective, they will keep you close. Law 7. Unite through opposition. Shared adversaries forge allegiance. Discover what they resent. Validate the struggle. Frame yourselves as aligned against dysfunction. This creates psychological solidarity, not bitterness. Purposeful contrast. In perceived conflict, loyalty deepens. Law 8. Support their ideal self. People inhabit fantasies of who they believe they are. Your role is not to disrupt the illusion, but to reinforce it. If they see themselves as a mentor, seek guidance. If they see themselves as a leader, offer loyalty. Reality threatens identity. Fantasy preserves it. Become the structure that supports their self-image, and they will defend you instinctively. Law 9. Regulate emotional climate. Influence accumulates stress. Most add pressure, become relief. Stability is magnetic. When chaos rises, slow down. When anger spikes, remain centered. Solve, absorb, neutralize. You become the emotional anchor. In a volatile world, calm commands premium value. Law 10. Remain adaptable. Rigidity fractures. Fluidity survives. Identity attachment limits access. Adjust presentation without losing core principles. Blend seamlessly. Assimilation is concealment. The most effective operators resemble the environment until precision is required. Law 11. Engineer reliance. Replaceability equals vulnerability. Occupy a role that cannot be duplicated easily. Own processes, relationships, bridges to outcomes. Do not decentralize your value. Dependency creates security. When your absence becomes unthinkable, your position is locked. Law 12. Frame decisions. Power is not issuing commands. It is defining available choices, curate options, guide outcomes. Let them authorize what you have architected. Control structure and results follow. Law 13. Cultivate independence. This is the paradox. To connect with power, you must not require it. Need contaminates presence. Self-sufficiency creates gravity. When you can walk away, you hold leverage. This internal sovereignty alters everything. Posture, tone, certainty. Those at the top recognize solidity. Be whole before you negotiate. Now pause. Yes, this sounds calculated, because it is. But observe the systems around you. Were they built on fairness or on strategy? You have a choice. Remain idealistic and passive, or understand the rules and act deliberately. Machiavelli was not cruel. He was precise. These laws are not restraints. They are instruments. Use them and invisibility dissolves. You stop waiting to be chosen. You become the strategist. Power is not reserved for others. They simply learned the mechanics earlier. The keys are now in your hands. Turn them or remain outside the door. Do not merely consume this information. Commit to applying it. This is not entertainment. It is initiation.